Here are Grandma's 25 plus Great Depression recipes to try today and save money. Johnny Cakes. Have you tried Johnny Cakes? This simple, budget-friendly dish by Grandma emerged in popularity during the Great Depression. Made from cornmeal, they're filling and inexpensive to prepare. Combine 1 cup of cornmeal, a pinch of salt, and enough boiling water to form a thick batter. Cook spoonfuls of the batter on a hot grease skillet until golden on both sides. Grandma relied on this hearty recipe to stretch ingredients while providing a satisfying meal. Serve them with butter, syrup, or jam for added flavor. Johnny Cakes are versatile, easy to make, and perfect for anyone looking to save money on meals today. Slumgullion Stew. Slumgullion stew is a hearty, one-pot meal born out of necessity during the Great Depression. It uses whatever ingredients are on hand, making it incredibly versatile. Combine ground beef, onions, diced potatoes, and canned tomatoes in a large pot. Season with salt, pepper, and any available spices. Simmer until the vegetables are tender, stirring occasionally. This filling stew stretches ingredients and reduces waste by utilizing leftovers. Serve with bread for a complete, affordable meal that's both comforting and economical. Surprise spice cake with tomato soup. This unexpected dessert uses tomato soup as a secret ingredient to create a moist, flavorful cake. Mix a can of condensed tomato soup with flour, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a pinch of cloves. Add baking soda and a splash of oil or butter for texture. Bake in a greased pan at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. The soup enhances the cake's moisture without leaving a tomato flavor. Top with powdered sugar or a simple glaze for a delightful and frugal treat. Crazy Cake. Crazy Cake is a chocolatey dessert that requires no eggs, milk, or butter. Perfect for tight budgets. In a mixing bowl, combine flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, and a pinch of salt. Make 3 wells and add vinegar, oil, and vanilla extract. Pour water over the mixture and stir until smooth. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius for 35 minutes in a greased pan. The vinegar reacts with baking soda, creating a fluffy texture without the need for traditional ingredients. This timeless recipe is a testament to resourcefulness. Rice and raisins. Rice and raisins is a simple, sweet dish that doubles as a dessert or breakfast. Cook white rice in water until tender, then stir in milk, sugar, and a handful of raisins. Simmer gently until the mixture thickens slightly. Sprinkle it with cinnamon or nutmeg for added flavor. This recipe is a great way to stretch pantry staples into a satisfying meal. It's warm, filling, and easy to prepare, making it an enduring favorite for frugal households. Hot water, cornbread, a straightforward recipe. Hot water cornbread uses boiling water to activate the cornmeal and create a soft texture. Start by mixing 1 cup of cornmeal, a pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of sugar in a bowl. Slowly pour in boiling water, stirring until a thick batter forms. Shape the mixture into small patties and fry in hot oil until golden. The boiling water pre-cooks the cornmeal, improving its consistency and flavor. Enjoy as a side dish or drizzle with honey for a touch of sweetness. It's an easy, satisfying recipe that stretches minimal ingredients into something delicious. Old-fashioned rice pudding. Rice pudding is a rich and creamy dessert made from common pantry items. The starch from the rice combines with milk to create a smooth, thick consistency. Cook 1 cup of cooked rice with 2 cups of milk, half a cup of sugar, and a pinch of salt over low heat, stirring until thickened. Add vanilla extract and sprinkle with cinnamon or nutmeg for added warmth. For a twist, stir in raisins. Serve warm or chilled. It's an economical way to repurpose leftover rice while satisfying your sweet tooth. A little patience in stirring makes all the difference. Bacon and onion sandwich. Sometimes, simple is best. Bacon and onion sandwiches combine savory and sweet flavors using basic ingredients. Start by frying bacon until crisp, then saute sliced onions in the leftover grease until caramelized. Layer the bacon and onions between slices of bread, adding mustard or mayonnaise if desired. The fat from the bacon enhances the onion's sweetness, creating a perfect balance of flavors. This recipe is filling, easy to assemble, and ideal for stretching ingredients on a budget. For an extra crunch, toast the bread before assembling the sandwich. Fried potato skins. Potato skins, often discarded, can be transformed into a crispy and flavorful snack. Wash and save the skins from peeling potatoes, ensuring all dirt is removed. Toss the peels with oil, salt, and pepper, then fry them in hot oil until crisp and golden. The heat causes the starch in the skins to brown and become crunchy. Garnish with grated cheese or herbs for extra flavor. Serve them with sour cream or ketchup. This recipe minimizes waste while creating a tasty and economical treat, proving that even scraps can shine on the plate. Old World Puff Pancake. Puff pancakes, also known as Dutch babies, are a magical combination of simple ingredients. Whisk together 3 eggs, half a cup of milk, half a cup of flour, and a pinch of salt. Pour the batter into a hot, greased cast iron skillet and bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. The high heat creates steam, causing the pancake to puff dramatically. Once out of the oven, it deflates slightly but retains its light texture. Top with powdered sugar, fruit, or syrup. This dish feels fancy but is quick and inexpensive to prepare, making it a breakfast favorite. Molasses cookies. Rich in flavor, molasses cookies are a delightful treat that stays moist due to the hygroscopic properties of molasses. In a bowl, combine 1 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a pinch of salt. Mix in wet ingredients. Half a cup of molasses, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and melted butter. Add cinnamon or ginger for warmth. Chill the dough, shape into balls, and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius for 10 to 12 minutes. The baking soda reacts with the acidic molasses, creating a chewy texture. These cookies pair beautifully with coffee or a warm cup of tea. Potato and onion pie. Potato and onion pie is the perfect example of stretching simple ingredients into something comforting. The starch in potatoes binds the dish together, while onions provide sweetness. Slice 3 medium potatoes and 1 onion thinly, layering them in a greased pie dish. Season each layer with salt, pepper, and thyme. Pour a mixture of milk and melted butter over the top. Then bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 195 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes until golden. The heat caramelizes the onions and softens the potatoes, melding flavors beautifully. This dish works well as a main course or alongside a crisp salad. Eggless pancakes. Have you ever heard about eggless pancakes? Fluffy and light, eggless pancakes rely on baking powder for their rise. The chemical reaction between baking powder and liquid creates air bubbles, mimicking eggs' function. Mix 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and a pinch of salt in a bowl. Stir in 1 cup of milk and a tablespoon of oil until smooth. Cook on a greased skillet until bubbles form, then flip to brown the other side. These pancakes are simple yet adaptable. Add fruits, syrup, or even chocolate chips for variety. They're a great solution when eggs aren't available. Country fish chowder. Country fish chowder is hearty, creamy, and satisfying. The natural starch from potatoes thickens the broth as it simmers. Begin by sautéing diced onions and celery in butter. Add diced potatoes and cover with water or fish stock. Cook until the potatoes are tender, then stir in chunks of fresh or canned fish and a splash of milk or cream. Simmer gently to allow the flavors to meld, seasoning with salt and pepper. Serve with crusty bread for a complete meal. This dish highlights the ability to turn simple pantry staples into a comforting, nourishing soup. Egg drop soup. Egg drop soup is both quick to make and incredibly nourishing. The science lies in the egg proteins, which cook immediately in hot broth, forming silky ribbons. Bring chicken or vegetable broth to a simmer and season with soy sauce or ginger. Slowly drizzle in 2 beaten eggs while stirring in one direction to create thin strands. Garnish with chopped scallions or a sprinkle of sesame oil. This light yet satisfying soup is perfect as a starter or a meal on its own. Its simplicity makes it ideal for busy days or when you're low on ingredients. Scrapple. A Depression-era staple, scrapple turns pork scraps into a savory and filling dish. The cornmeal binds the pork and broth together, creating a firm loaf. Simmer pork scraps with onions, salt, and pepper in water until tender. Strain, shred the meat, and return it to the pot. Gradually whisk in cornmeal, stirring constantly over medium heat until thick. Pour the mixture into a loaf pan and cool. Once set, slice and pan fry until crisp. Scrapple is perfect for breakfast with eggs or syrup and makes use of every part of the meat for zero wastes. Biscuits and gravy. This is a staple snack Grandma often makes. Biscuits and gravy are hearty, comforting, and economical. The science behind a sumptuous gravy lies in the roux, a cooked mixture of fat and flour that thickens the sauce. Bake or use ready-made biscuits. In a skillet, brown sausage and remove it, leaving the drippings. Whisk in flour until golden, then slowly add milk while stirring. Return the sausage and season with salt, pepper, and a pinch of cayenne. Simmer until thick and pour over warm biscuits. This satisfying meal stretches simple ingredients into a delicious dish, perfect for breakfast or brunch. Ruby grape pie. Ruby grape pie is a unique dessert with a tart-sweet balance. Grapes naturally release pectin, a thickening agent when cooked. Start by de-seeding 2 cups of red grapes. Simmer them with sugar, lemon juice, and a pinch of cinnamon. To ensure a thick filling, mix a teaspoon of cornstarch with water and stir it in. Pour into a pie crust, cover with a lattice or full crust, and bake at 175 degrees Fahrenheit or 195 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes. The vibrant color and balanced flavors make this pie a surprising and delightful addition to any dessert table. Oatmeal meatloaf. Oatmeal meatloaf stretches ground meat while keeping it moist and tender. The oats absorb liquid and act as a binder, holding the loaf together. In a bowl, mix ground beef or pork, 1 egg, oats, diced onion, and seasonings like Worcestershire sauce, salt, and pepper. Shape into a loaf and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius for about an hour. Spread ketchup or glaze on top midway through cooking for added flavor. This budget-friendly dish pairs perfectly with mashed potatoes or green beans, making it a wholesome, family-friendly meal. Potato soup. Potato soup is a simple yet satisfying dish that relies on potatoes' natural starch to thicken the broth. Begin by sautéing diced onions and celery in butter. Add peeled, cubed potatoes and enough stock or water to cover. Simmer until the potatoes are tender. Then mash some of them in the pot to create a creamy texture. Stir in milk or cream and season with thyme, salt, and pepper. Garnish with shredded cheese or chopped scallions. This warm and comforting soup makes the most of humble ingredients, offering a hearty meal that's easy to prepare. Stone soup. A tale-turned recipe. Stone soup is a dish that embodies creativity and resourcefulness. Start with a pot of boiling water and a clean stone to symbolize the beginning of a meal. Add diced onions, carrots, potatoes, and any other available vegetables. The science of simmering slowly extracts flavors, creating a rich, hearty broth. Season with salt, pepper, and herbs, cooking until all ingredients are tender. This meal transforms minimal resources into something warm, nourishing, and surprisingly flavorful. Cornmeal mush. Cornmeal mush is simple yet satisfying. When heated, cornmeal absorbs water, thickening into a creamy base. Combine 1 cup of cornmeal with 4 cups of water and a pinch of salt in a pot. Stir constantly over medium heat until the mixture thickens and smooths out. Serve warm with butter or syrup, or let it cool to slice and fry. This adaptable dish works for any meal, proving that even basic ingredients can become something versatile and delicious. Navy bean soup. A hearty bowl of navy bean soup is both nutritious and filling. The natural starch in the beans thickens the soup as it cooks, making it rich and comforting. Soak dried navy beans overnight, rinse, and cook in water or broth with diced onions, garlic, and a bay leaf. Add carrots and celery, seasoning with salt and pepper. Mash some of the beans for extra creaminess if desired. Serve hot with a side of bread and enjoy a frugal, protein-packed meal that's ideal for any season. Dandelion salad. Fresh dandelion greens make a unique, nutrient-dense salad. Harvest young leaves from clean areas to avoid bitterness and wash thoroughly before using. Toss the greens with olive oil, lemon juice, and seasonings like salt and pepper. Add toppings like sliced onions, crumbled bacon, or hard-boiled eggs for texture and richness. The slight bitterness of the greens balances beautifully with the tangy dressing. It's a refreshing and affordable way to turn foraged ingredients into a vibrant, healthful dish. Oven-fried cornbread. Cornbread with a crispy edge is a comforting classic. Preheating a cast iron skillet with butter ensures a golden crust while baking the batter evenly. Mix 1 cup of cornmeal, half a cup of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt in a bowl. Add milk and an egg, whisking until smooth. Pour into the hot skillet and bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. The result is a perfectly balanced cornbread, fluffy on the inside and crunchy on the outside, that pairs wonderfully with stews or soups. Hoosier pie. Hoosier pie, also known as sugar cream pie, is a rich dessert made from simple pantry staples. Its creamy texture comes from the cornstarch that thickens the filling. Combine sugar, cornstarch, and a pinch of salt, then slowly whisk in milk and vanilla. Pour into a prepared pie crust and dot with butter before baking at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 195 degrees Celsius until golden. The baking process caramelizes the sugar, adding depth to the flavor. Serve chilled or at room temperature for a smooth, sweet slice that's both indulgent and budget-friendly. Cheesy hash brown potatoes. Cheesy hash brown potatoes are the ultimate comfort food. The science lies in the starch from the potatoes, which binds the casserole as it bakes. Mix frozen hash browns with cream of chicken soup, sour cream, shredded cheese, and seasonings. Spread the mixture in a greased casserole dish and top with breadcrumbs or crushed cornflakes for a crunchy finish. Bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 195 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes until bubbly and golden. This hearty dish works as a side for any meal or a satisfying main course on its own. Ham and beans. Ham and beans is a filling, one-pot dish that stretches inexpensive ingredients into a hearty meal. The beans' natural starch thickens the broth while the ham adds smoky flavor. Soak dried beans overnight, then simmer them in a pot with diced ham, onions, garlic, and a bay leaf. Add salt and pepper to taste, cooking until the beans are tender. For added depth, stir in a splash of vinegar at the end. Serve with cornbread for a traditional, comforting meal that's easy to make and perfect for feeding a crowd. Corn dog casserole. Corn dog casserole is Grandma's fun, kid-friendly dish that's simple to prepare. The cornbread batter's lightness comes from the baking powder, which creates a fluffy texture. Combine cornmeal mix, milk, eggs, and a touch of sugar in a bowl. Pour half the batter into a greased baking dish. Layer with sliced hot dogs and cover with the remaining batter. Bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 195 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes until golden and set. Serve with ketchup or mustard for dipping. This creative casserole brings all the flavor of a classic corn dog in a convenient, shareable form. For more contents like this, click here to subscribe.